Hey guys, it's Y33 Ambassador off Instagram. This video how-to guide is going to be how to install some speakers. So for the Y33 chassis, you are going to want a 6.5 inch speaker. So I've got component speakers because I've got tweeters in my front door. You're just going to have to double check your model if you have tweeters or if you want to add them. But 6x9's 6.5 is going to fit for the fronts, for the doors, and for the rear parcel, I've got 6x9s as well. There's other little stuff that you may want to get. I've got the speaker frame. So what you do is with the speaker, you attach these onto the actual, like the outside of the speaker, and it doesn't lose the sound in the door or on the rear parcel shelf, and it just makes your speakers sound louder, and it's recommended. Apparently it makes it sound a lot better, so I'm going to try it. You're going to need wire strippers to strip the factory wires, and normally you want to solder it, but a lot of people, they recommend using butt connectors. So on one end you put your factory wiring, and on the other end you do like the Pioneer wires. You crimp them, you tug it, make sure that it's all snug, and then you don't have to worry about messing around with soldering. So that's what I'm going to do. And also I've got some foam double-sided tape where, for example, I take off the factory speakers from the rear parcel. Instead of mounting it metal on metal, I'm gonna put this foam on, so I have some cushion so I don't get any rattle as such. So yeah, that's basically what you need. Alright, so to get the rear seats out, how can I explain it? There's two loops. You can't even see it because it's so dark. I'm doing this at night time. There's a loop right there. It's a loop. You pull it. There's one on each side. You got to pull this loop towards you. So you got to sit on that tunnel. Sit on the tunnel, pull it at the same time, and then you got to pull it and lift it, and then this whole section pulls out. So I'm gonna pause the video and do that real quick. And that's how it looks like when you fully pull it out. And I'll show you how it looks. Also, because you're working on the car with the door open, I've disconnected my courtesy light on the door. That's how it looks like when it's fully out. It's night time, so got the light. That's pretty clean. I'm pretty impressed with how it looks. So that's the first step. Okay, so the next step is going to be to remove the back cushion. So on both sides, you're going to have these 10mm bolts. There's one there, there's one there, and there's going to be two more. There's one there, and there's that one there. So let me just remove that quickly. Okay, once you remove all those full 10mm bolts, there's going to be two more. So you got this, your rear center console, so just pull that down, and then you're going to have this back piece. So you just got to pull that off. And there's going to be two more. There's going to be one there and one there. Let me just get the light. You can see what I mean? So those two. So one there, so I'll quickly remove that and I'll pull this back piece off. Alright, after that's done, you got to take these seat pillars off. So I've already done one side, but because I wasn't sure how to do it, but there are these clips. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just got to like pull it just gently, and then it will come off. So I'm going to do a test run. I didn't snap it or break anything. I was really gentle, but you gotta, I started on that corner there. You follow that, that kind of pops out, and then this one comes out last. So do both sides. Okay, so once both those pillars are off, it's gonna just pop out, like slide out. But in Australia, where I'm based at, for compliance, you need child restraints for like baby seats. So I've got these two here, so I'm gonna have to do something or remove it. I don't want to remove it because I'm pretty sure if I remove that, the bolt on the other side is gonna drop down. So I've got to go through the boot first to make sure I'm not gonna lose the other end. So I'm just gonna see what I'm gonna do with that first. Alright, so I ended up removing those two. I don't have to worry about underneath because it's bolted in. It's like welded in. There's a plate for that bottom nut. I think it's from factory. I'm not sure what it's for, but yeah, I don't have to worry about that at all. So I've just removed those two. They were 13mm, and now this parcel shelf will slide off. So let's do that quickly. And that just slid right off. So there's both speakers, got my air purifier box there, but I just, because it's still attached with the seatbelt, I just slid it down here, and you can still work on removing them. So there'll be 10mm bolts, no screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can quickly remove them. So I just did a test fit for one of the Pioneer TSA 1671F because I noticed these holes here. I want to see if I could use the factory holes with the Pioneers or not. And I just did a test fit. They're not wide up or anything, but they fit completely perfect for those holes. So there's one there, one there, one there, one there. It's solid. I have to put the foam between metal and metal so there's no rattle, but they fit perfectly there. So if you want to get the same speakers as me, you know it's 100% going to fit for you guys as well. So originally I was going to use this foam, like double-sided tape for between the metal rear parcel shelf and the speaker, but I've still got dynamite from my previous builds and we've got quite a bit still. So I'm actually going to use this instead. All of this and this, so that's enough for the rear parcel shelf, and I might like use it sparingly on the front doors as well. So I'm not going to use this, I'm going to use this instead to sandwich between the rear parcel shelf and my speakers. So now comes the fun part of wiring the speakers. So these are my Pioneers, and you've got a big spade on that side and a small spade on that side. So the big spade is a positive, small spade is the negative. So you can see here, I've already stripped them and it's gonna go into this one. So I have to do it in the car, and I'll tell you which ones. If you're lucky enough and it's the same color as me, then you're in luck. But there's actually a plus and minus on the actual connector. But I'll show you which one's negative and which one's positive on my car. Alright, so this is the factory wiring. This connects to the normal OEM speaker, but we can't use this for the aftermarket speakers. But basically, you have green and red. This is the rear passenger side. So green is negative and red is positive. So I'm just going to cut this. I'm going to strip it, and I'm going to use the butt connector, and then we're going to use connect it up. Also, when you cut these wires, make sure you disconnect your negative terminal on your car battery in the engine bay as well. Right, it's a really awkward spot here, but I finally was able to strip them and crimp them. So just make sure it's tugged on each end, make sure it's secure, reconnect your battery, and I'm going to test with music. Obviously, because of YouTube and licensing, I can't play music, but I'm going to test it to make sure it's playing music, and we'll go from there. So let me just test that quickly. So I've tested it and it sounds amazing. So I bolted it down, I screwed it down, and then I've got my foam ring that I've test fitted it with the parcel shelf, fits perfectly. So I just got to repeat that on the other side, and then that's the rear complete. Okay, so I just want to show you guys the rear driver's side. So we've got the negative on this side. Let me focus here. Okay, so the negative is going to be that pink one, and the positive is that blue one. And as you can see, I just used some dynamite sand in. So I'm just quickly strip and crimp these and test it again. Alright, so once that's all done, so I've got the rear passenger done, and I've got the rear driver side done. So once that's all done, you can put all the trims back on. So it goes rear parcel shelf, then the seat pillars, then the back seat, then the bottom bit. So we'll do that quickly right now. Alright, so everything's put back into place. So remember, you have to go, it's rear parcel shelf, then it's the seat pillars, this back, and the end is the bottom cushion, And then remember, if you took out your bulbs for the coaxial, put that back in, and it's all done, and you can start enjoying your new sound system in the rear. We'll take off the door trim and I'll show you guys how to do that in a moment. So first things first, if you open your door, you're gonna have your courtesy light always on, because we need the door open to work on. You don't want to drain the battery. So let's just pop this off quickly. So just get your trim remover tool, remove that, remove the LED, just put that to the side. And now you're just gonna yank this up. So it's got these clips there. You're not going to break anything, it's all metal, so that's fine. And it's going to expose 2 of these 10mm bolts. So just undo that quickly. I've taken this door off so many times, so that's why I know where everything is. So there's one there, there's one here. Oh, let me get my ratchet. Okay, that's 1 done, 2 done. And lastly, there's one just here as well. There's one just there. Let me try to zoom in. Actually, let me get some height for the tripod so you can see what I mean. I'm zooming here so you can see exactly what I mean. So this whole part comes off. It pops off like that. Don't worry about that, that's fine. And just there, you can see the bolt. And just move the camera, set that bolt there. I'm just gonna remove that. So quickly remove that. Just zoom out here. And now the door is ready to get popped off. So let's quickly remove that. And lift up. Just be careful with it. And it comes fully off. Now there's going to be some wires, so what you're going to need to do, I'll actually pause it for a moment. Okay, that took longer than expected, so instead of just recording me struggling for 5 minutes, I'll just explain it here. So there's a bottom one, this is for the courtesy light, and you're going to see here, you just press this down, you just press that, and you got to pull it at the same time while pressing down. It's really hard, and that pops out. This one is really annoying. This one got stuck on for about 3-4 minutes, but you can see how many times I've tried to push down with like a screwdriver. You got to push that and pull it out. It's a really awkward position, but you basically got to like pull it side to side, and it will finally come out. So they're the 2 main ones. It's just easier to remove it so the door card, you're not hanging it because there's not enough support and it's gonna put strain on your wires, so you don't want that. So we'll remove this next. So this speaker is just held on by 3 10mm bolts. So let's crack them quickly. That's 1, 2, last one, the third one, 3. And this clip, just remove that, and then it just pops off like that. And hopefully on the other side there was a positive and negative. Yes, there's positive and negative on these wires. You got to zoom in, but I'll let you know what it is. But that's that removed. So let's remove that tweeter there. I've got to remove this whole section because it's part of it. So let's do that now. So to remove this tweeter, it's held on by 10 bolts. So there's one there, one there, one there. It fully clips in. So you can see it just moves like that. And then also just remember, you're gonna have to disconnect that as well. So I'll do that quickly. My tripod's not that tall, so I can't record it. But yeah, let me do that quickly and I'll come back to you. Okay, that was really annoying. There's this plug here that's really hard to press. I was struggling for about a minute. We're trying to press that down and pulling that plug off. So you just remove it there, and then the tweeter, it was just sitting like that. So you just remove that, and now we're just going to remove this casing for where the stock like OEM tweeter sits. So I'm just going to use a small Phillips head and remove that and just pull it out quickly now. All right, so we're just gonna undo the bolts for Phillips head screws where it's holding this one. That's one there. One there. I should pull out. Oh, it's glued in. Okay. Oh, it's got hot glue. Okay, that's fine. Because that's where we're going to put our aftermarket one. And just, we don't need this cable, so. Oh, it's really. Let me just pause it, but you can see it right there. It's. Let me focus there. It's glued in place. Let me just quickly pause the video and I'll remove that. Alright, so that's now removed. So this is the Pioneer tweeter. So it's going to fit in the same OEM spot. So it actually sits nice and tight there. And that's it there. Like, it's pretty solid. It's not falling down. So the vents will go on top of it, and that's done. We're just going to screw it back in place. So we'll do that quickly right now. So I've actually used my foam tape just around the tweeter, so it's nice and firm there because the factory glue was actually loosening, and I don't want this tweeter to get loose and knock around once I do everything, like everything's installed back in. So I just wrapped it around there, made it tight, jammed it in there, and it's really tight, and I'm not gonna bite into the wire, so I'm gonna loop it up there and it's gonna connect down. So let me just attach it back to the car and I'll show you how it looks. And that's how it looks. So it's all connected, and I've got the spade connectors. They're gonna connect onto my speaker because these component spades are active. I don't have a crossover, so that it just connects directly to the speaker, and then I just link that, splice that into the factory system. So it's a bit easier than the rears. So let's mount up that main 6.5. I want to try to use the OEM surround, so we'll see how that goes. So there's 4 Phillips head. Let's remove them quickly. Okay, now that's removed. So it's similar setup to the rears. It's got the paper speaker. That's not really that good. Let's see if my Pioneers, like my rears, slot straight in. Okay, so slight problem. Just gonna have to modify this stock surrounding. You can see that little lip on 4 sides. So basically the Pioneers, they hit it, so I can't mount it flush. As you can see, it's creating a gap. So what I'm going to do, just to bridge that gap, I'm going to just layer some dynamite layer in, build it up, and then I can mount them, and then I'll have to put it back into the car. So I'm going to pause the video, do that quickly, and show you how it's going to look when it's all bolted up. All right, so I got there in the end. So as you can see, I made some layers using Dynamat, and I had to actually use self-tapper bolts. It's not the cleanest like in store, but it's secure, it's not going anywhere. So you can see there's one of them there, there's another one there, there. So it goes through that. So I made sure it's all secure. As I said, it's not the cleanest, but it works with what we have in the Q45 community. There's not much parts out there, so I made sure it's secure, and I'm just gonna crimp it, wire it up, and test it. But yeah, this is probably the hardest part to get through. So make sure you've got self-tapper bolts, self-tapper screws. But yeah, I'm gonna go to the next step and work out what the positive and the negative terminals are on the car. All right, so this is the front passenger side. So this is the factory wiring. So on the left hand side, you got the negative. So the negative is the blue and yellow one, and the positive is the blue and white one, the one on the right. So just check, there's like a little plus and minus. See, so left is negative and plus is positive. So positive is the one on the right, the one with the blue and the white, and the negative is the one on the left, the blue and the yellow. So I'm just going to cut that and crimp it and use the butt connectors to connect it. So I'll just pause the video and do that real quick. I forgot to explain before. So the negative is a small spade and the positive is a big spade. So that blue and yellow one, that's the negative. So it's gonna connect onto the small spade, and that big spade is the one on the right, the white and blue one. So just gonna use butt connectors to connect my Pioneer wiring, and then connect it back to the speaker. Okay, butt connectors are connected and stripped. We've got the back spades connected. So all we're gonna do is connect the battery again, play some music and just test it. So let me just test that quickly. All right, so I tested it, sounds perfect. The tweeter and the 6x9 sounds awesome. I just gotta bolt it up properly because it's just finger tight. And basically you just gotta install everything in reverse, and you do one side, you do the other side, and the fronts are done. All right, so this is for the driver side. So on the right we have the positive, and on the left we have the negative. So you can just see the symbol there. So negative and positive. So positive is the yellow and red one, and that negative one there is the green and yellow one. So if you have the same wiring as all my other wires, it's a safe bet to say that's going to be the same one. So let me just cut this and crimp it, and I'll test the speaker out. So thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.